Alright, I wanted to show an example of what happens when a plant's looking weak or it's stressed. This plant's still green, but as you'll notice, the branches are drooping, and I've been noticing that this plant in particular has had a lot of aphids compared to the others, and that's a sure sign of a stressed out plant, because that's the one that the aphids will go to. Aphids will always attack a weak plant or a stressed plant. And this one, you know, it's having that leaves are curling, and no matter what I do, it's not causing any, it's not having any effect on it. It's only at the bottom still, or most of the bottom, but it looks like bacterial wilt or southern bacterial wilt to me. And a sure sign that it has a problem is all those aphids on it. So this is a prime example of something that you wouldn't want to go in and say cut branches and mess with and then go to another plant. You wipe out your garden that way. That's why it's so important to be careful in your plants, because you can transfer something from one plant to the next if you don't clean your cutters and keep your hands clean. And right now it's got dew on it. That's be the worst time to touch it and go to another plant, even just touch another plant. So I'm keeping an eye on this one because the one next to it it's a little wilty as well. It's still healthy. They're both healthy. They're still green. I'm gonna let it go a little further. See what happens. It could be just stress from the weather, possibly. I mean, they'll do that. The leaves will roll sometimes when it gets too hot too quick for them. But if this continues on and is obviously traveling up the plant and wilting it, there is no cure for that. You pull it, discard it, get it away. Don't put it in your compost. Just get rid of it. Which we'll see how that goes, how that plays out over the next few days. But I thought I'd show this because this is a prime example of how aphids will attack the weakest plant. A real healthy, strong growing plant, those aphids typically really don't bother it much at all. But a weak plant, man, they will gravitate towards it. I don't know how they know that, but they do. I mean, they will attack it. And I've sprayed it, with everything. And I'm killing ants and manually removing aphids and a little of just everything. And it's alive and green, and it's looking good on top. But we'll see what happens in the next few days, people. This could be the first casualty already. The bugs are really bad this year, at least in our area, real bad. It's going to be a bug year, so it's going to be extra tough. But so got to keep them plants healthy, keep them bugs off. But just remember, folks, the most important thing: do not rifle through your plants, plant to plant to plant, unless you have to for any reason. Never do that. You don't know, it may have something and you don't know, and then you go to another plant and maybe be trimming or messing around and grabbing and spread it that quick, like wildfire. So, and some stuff travels on the wind. You can't help it; it'll spread, but don't help it. And anyway, we're going to keep an eye on this guy and see how it goes. If all else fails, I'll pull it and I'll stick in a dang Better Boy or something, a hybrid. I don't know if I would have to dump the soil or not. That's something I'd have to look into. It depends on what this really turns out to be. I'll know for sure within days. But anyway, I wanted to go ahead and film that and talk about it a little. You're going to have this in your garden, people. You're going to have issues. It just happens. And it's best not to keep fighting and spraying and messing with them sometimes. It's early enough. Just pull the darn thing. It's not healthy. Pull it and put in another. But we'll see. I'm going to give this guy a little longer and see if it starts clearing up. Could be something else. And that's it.